here I am then, actively, seriously, properly seriously considering this 16mm scale tunnel mine layout. So, I mean, I have the shelf here. I put in a base of the 12mm cork-faced foam core board, because that's what I like for small baseboard material, and laid some lengths of track that Calvin Witt 3D printed for me from Chris Rennie's Originals, and 5 lengths of track are exactly, totally and utterly exactly the length of the shelf, which I guess that's a sign. So yeah, thinking about this, so I've also dummied up the tunnel size to get an idea of what things would look like there. The idea for a tunnel railway, and mock up the tunnel to see how it looks. Now obviously the height of the tunnel is dependent on the swing of the rocker arm of the IMCO shovel, so to clear the roof. So that might be low, that might be high, I don't know, but it looks very tunnel-like, very cramped in there, so I kind of like that. And if we look around, take the angle in a bit, and you know, it's yeah, I'm really thinking about this. I mean, I do have here in this here box, I got one of Chris Rennie's Clayton kits with the folding cab, which is as good a miner's loco as any. Now, before I was saying that I just thought the skip was a bit big for the situation. So, yeah, a mining tub of some kind would be a good idea. So, I mean, maybe I could build a mining tub on top of a skip chassis, which would not be unprototypical, let's face it. And I've also got this old beauty from Sidelines from Steve Bennett. This is a very small mining tub in GN15, and I mean, I could scale this up and enlarge it to suit the location. I've got my locomotive, so all I really need to do is work out how to get the IMCO loader to work, and that's going to take quite a bit of thinking. So the thought would be to get this started, get some track laid, get some scenery, get the tunnel wall and roof worked out, and then when working on the theory, as I see that progress, it'll inspire me to perhaps get working and solving the problems of the IMCO loader. Anyway, I think what I'll do to start with is I will lay some spackle on the on this baseboard that I've got in the shelf there, and then bury the track, these track sections, into the spackle to make it look like it's like muddy in the bottom of the tunnel, and the track is just like bedded well in. And we will, and then I can like just spray paint it with a really crappy muddy rusty sort of color, and then so yeah, we're just gonna like spread this on roughly, thickly, unevenly, and then bed the track in it, and see what happens there. It's like it's always new when you're coming up with new ideas for layouts. You're always going to have new experiences. And here we are then. Here's the floor of the tunnel. The spackle is laid out very unevenly, and now the thing will be to fit the track, which I have here. I'm looking at the looking there at the floor of the tunnel, white, pristine. There reminds me, I'll have to. It's December. I'll be having to ice the Christmas cake in a couple of weeks. So anyway, we're gonna put this in place. Just gonna put it where it should be, and then I've got made a spacer here to make sure I get it in the right position. That way it's like evenly, it looks a relatively straight piece of track down the baseboard, and then we will just like press it into place, and hopefully that will take into the, I can see, you probably can't see right now, but I can actually see the ground surface rising up around the sleepers. So hopefully this will work as it dries. We will know. Yesterday I applied a thick coat of spackle to this base, and 24 hours later it seems to have held pretty well. There's a couple of spots you can see there where I've had to glue in place. So the next stage will be to add a little bit more, to bury some sleepers now, and that'll hold them place even more. So there we go. I've added a little bit more spackle there, and I'm just gonna run a wagon wheel set through there to clear out some flangeways so that things won't derail. But oh, right now we're just doing a little bit of painting. We're painting the sleepers of the track in the base of the tunnel. We're giving them a pick out with some bits of rust. So I don't quite know how much of this is actually going to be seen in the end, because further research has shown that much of the track in the base of a tunnel is buried under mud and stuff, and stones and pebbles and rock and general tunnel detritus, so we might not actually see much here, but I'm painting some just in case. So, but here you can see the buried track, what it looks like. And what's handy about burying it is like what we'll be able to do is depressions like this, we will be able to put puddles of resin water in, like that one there. There's a big puddle there, and that could be a big puddle of resin water. In Windladd ger y Tir Mwsogl wrth drwy the clogwyn. It's Welsh. It's a little bit of an in-joke between a friend and I. We were talking about a layout for my Barkman and Pico Kato 009 rolling stock, and I was thinking along the lines of a Mosslanda shelf layout. And well, what's Welsh for Mosslanda? Well, Tir Mwsogl is Welsh for mossland, so it's near enough. So we started out with the idea of a Mosslanda 009 idea, but then once I saw that humongous 45-inch long version, I was thinking in a totally new direction altogether. So we have the 16mm scale layout is Imwynglad Geratir o Ffysogl Wrthroed y Clogwyn, and that means the mine near the land of moss at the foot of the cliff. All Welsh names, place names tell a story, and that one tells a good story. That's the name, that's why it's named why it is, and well, let's get back to it. That's one day of scenic work on the tunnel floor done, and I put down a first layer of dirt. I mean, when I say dirt, I mean dirt. I mean this stuff. This stuff I got off my back driveway, off in front of my garage, and it's just gravel and dirt, small gravel and dirt. And so I just picked some up, baked it for about half an hour at 200 degrees to kill any microorganisms that might be in there, and then put it on here. I lathered on the white glue really thick and then just stuck this in place, and this is really well fixed in place, and for a first coat I think that actually looks pretty good. I will be adding a little bit more of other grades of stone and stuff. I've got some see, I have some woodland scenic fine ballast here which I might add, but I think that's actually maybe too fine looking at this. I'll find some larger grade ballast and put that in for a little bit of relief and that. And oh, we've got a locomotive at the end of the track, so I know you probably want to see that move to see if my track laying is actually any good, so let's see what happens. And what is really cool at the minute is the locomotive is actually bouncing up and down the track a bit, which I always feel is when you're in a narrow gauge locomotive in a mine on one of those tourist trips, you always feel like you're bouncing up and down the tracks. So I feel that actually might be quite realistic. Here I am adding larger stones to the tunnel floor, and so I'm basically, it's just like ballasting here. So we just put down larger stones, and now I'm gluing them in place with woodland scenic cement as if I was ballasting tracks. One thing I have done is I've applied a little bit of theory here in that I've put some larger stones here where the mine loader is going to be, so that's a bit of spillage from the shovel, and this will peter out and get thinner as I move further down the tunnel. So a roundup then of the week's progress on the mine tunnel layouts. As you can see, we've got some pretty good looking tunnel base there. I will endeavour to add some larger stones in there as well, but they will be like glued individually in place, and will probably be done at the same time as the rear tunnel face gets done too. So, but I'm quite happy with what we've got there with the mix of colours and textures, and I can weather some of those down because I think those there are just a little bit too loud, a little bit too noticeable, so I can wash some colours into those and tone them down a bit. But otherwise, the track bed in the tunnel floor looks pretty good. And here we have a mining tub. Now this is a bit of a proof of concept right now. I built that myself with using a wooden underframe and some binny wheels and a scratch-built plastic card body. It's I'll talk more about that in another video next year. So it works, and well, look at that. It's nice and free running as well. So. And then we get to here, and here's an idea for the off-stage exit. I'm going to line the tunnel face with embossed styrene of corrugated iron. So that's 16mm scale corrugated iron, well, as near as it is from Plastruct. So I think it looks pretty good there. It makes a nice exit. All in all, it's been a lot of fun this week, and fun is the most important thing about it. So build that model, lay that track, run that train, but above all, have fun. And we'll see you next time.